Alex sat on the floor of the engine bay with his back against a warm metal panel. The hum of Horizon Gate ran through the deck like a soft heartbeat. Lights blinked in slow rhythm along the walls, and a faint smell of oil and hot circuits floated in the air. He wiped sweat from his forehead with the sleeve of his jumpsuit and looked at the open power relay in front of him. Cables hung out like a mess of metal vines. "You should not lean your body weight against that panel," a calm voice said behind him. "It is at 39.2 degrees. You will overheat faster." Alex smiled without turning around. "If I overheat, maybe I will finally get a day off." Lyria stepped around him into view. She moved with the smooth, careful grace of her people. Her skin had a faint, soft glow, like moonlight under the surface. Her eyes were large and bright, with pale blue rings that shifted when she focused on something. She looked down at the relay and tilted her head. "This configuration is untidy." "Welcome to human engineering," Alex said. "We like it messy. It builds character." "Mess does not build character," Lyria replied. "It creates error." Alex laughed. He liked working with her. Most people on the station were either too serious or too tired to talk. Lyria was serious too, but in a different way. She always had questions, and she listened when he answered. She knelt beside him, her long hair falling over one shoulder. Someone had shown her how to tie it back in a simple band, but a few loose strands still slipped free and framed her face. "The relay is unstable," she said. "The energy spike from the alien structure made the readings strange." "Yeah," Alex said. "The scientists are still trying to figure out what that thing even is. We just keep the lights on while they poke at it." Outside the thick walls of Horizon Gate, a giant red and orange gas giant rolled slowly in space. Near it, like a dark wound cut into the sky, hung the structure. It was not quite a station and not quite a ship. It was a ring of floating pieces of black metal and crystal joined by beams of pale light. No one knew who built it. No one knew how old it was. The humans and the Seraph had come together to study it. It was one of the first big joint projects since their alliance started. Horizon Gate was half human design, half Seraph. Clean white panels sat next to rough gray metal. Human coffee machines sat beside sleek Seraph nutrition dispensers that made clear cubes of food. Alex passed Lyria a diagnostic tool. "Here, run a full test on conduit line C7. She took the tool with careful fingers. She always handled human devices like they were alive and might bite. "Alex," she said while she worked, "explain again. What is teasing?" "You still stuck on that?" he asked. "Yes," she said. "You used it yesterday, when you told Officer Daniel that his hair looked like it was fleeing his head." He laughed. "Yet you insulted him. It is confusing." Alex grinned at the memory. "Teasing is when you say something that sounds mean, but it is not meant to hurt. It is meant to be funny. You only do it if both people know it is a joke." "But you stated that his hair was fleeing," Lyria said. "This is not true. Hair cannot flee." "Yeah," Alex said. "That is why it is funny." Lyria fell silent for a moment. The ring in her eyes shifted as she thought. She was very good at thinking. Sometimes she thought so much that she forgot to move at all. "Humans enjoy false statements," she said at last. "This seems inefficient." "We enjoy laughing," Alex said. "Sometimes it is the only good part of the day." She looked at him with a small frown. "Your life is not good." He shrugged. "Life is fine, but we deal with stress with jokes. It makes things feel lighter." "Like reducing mass," Lyria said, "to escape gravity." "Something like that." She went back to the relay test without another word, but Alex could tell she was still turning his answer over in her head. She always did that. She treated even his dumb jokes like serious data. After a while, the tool beeped. "Line C7 is stable," Lyria said. "The problem is in line D9. Alex groaned. "Of course it is. That one is buried behind the panel that hates me. He pushed himself up and stepped over to the wall. He tapped a few commands on the panel display. The metal segment slid aside with a hiss, revealing a tight space filled with more cables. I will access it, Lyria said. No, I got it, Alex said. Your shoulders are wider, she replied. You will get stuck. Wow, Alex said. First you call my work messy, now you call me wide. You are getting pretty good at this teasing thing. I was not teasing, she said, puzzled. Your shoulders are a fact. Alex laughed again as she slid into the narrow space. Her body moved like water, flexible and precise. He watched her reach into the gap and adjust the power links. Light from the relay reflected on her skin, making her glow just a little brighter. For a moment, he just watched. There was something peaceful about seeing her work. She never wasted emotion. He, on the other hand, always seemed to be bumping into something. Alex, she said without looking back. You are staring at me again. He blinked. Sorry. Just making sure the panel does not decide to eat you. That panel is not mobile, she said. Your joke is not logical. Most of mine are not, he said, but I like them anyway. A small pause. She shifted one more cable, then pulled herself free from the wall. A faint streak of dust marked her cheek. She looked at him, then at the diagnostic tool. Power levels are correct now. Great, Alex said. We can finish up and maybe I will actually make it to dinner before the food cubes run out. You do not need to eat the cubes, Lyria said. There is still human pasta left in the shared storage. Pasta on this station is a myth, Alex said. A legend. A story parents tell their kids. No one ever sees it. I saw it this morning, she said. Commander Grant requested extra rations. Alex sighed. Of course. The captain gets the good stuff. Lyria watched his face for a moment. You are teasing again. Partly, he said, and partly honest. I really do not see pasta. He reached out without thinking and brushed the dust from her cheek with his thumb. Her skin was cool. His fingers tingled where they touched her. Lyria froze. The light in her eyes brightened for a second. Alex pulled his hand back quickly. Sorry, he said. Just cleaning. It is acceptable, she said, but her voice was a little softer than before. Physical contact between work partners is common for you. Only when there is dust, Alex said, and sometimes high fives. What are high fives? She asked. He smiled. I will show you later. They closed the panel and packed up the tools. The engine bay felt calmer now that the relay was stable. The hum of the station even sounded a little smoother. On the way out, Alex saw a reflection in a metal surface. Lyria was trying to gather her hair with her hands. Her brows were pulled together, and her mouth was pressed in a thin line of concentration. She had a small band in one hand, and she was clearly losing the fight with it. You know, Alex said, you do not have to copy everything we do. Your people judge appearance strongly, she said. This is clear in your media files. Hair has symbolic weight. That is one way to say it, Alex replied. But you look fine. Your hair is fine. No, more than fine. It actually looks nice just hanging like that. She did not react. She pulled the band again and managed to catch some of her hair, but not all. It ended up in a strange loose knot that hung at an odd angle. Alex could not stop himself. He took a step closer, smiled, and said in a light voice, Careful, Lyria. If you keep learning human stuff like that, you would be a cute wife. The words hung in the air. He expected her to roll her eyes or ask what cute meant again, or maybe complain that the phrase was inefficient. Instead, she went completely still. The band slipped from her fingers and fell to the floor with a soft sound. The light in her eyes narrowed to a fine ring, then expanded. Her skin glow-dimmed, then flared brighter. Alex's smile faded. Hey, that was a joke, you know, teasing. She turned to face him very slowly. Her face was unreadable. No clear smile, no frown, just a strange, quiet intensity. "Repeat the phrase," she said. Her voice was low and careful, like someone handling a delicate tool. Alex shifted his weight from one foot to the other. Something in his chest tightened. "It was nothing," he said. "Just me being dumb. Do not worry about it." "Repeat the phrase," she said again. "Exactly." He swallowed. The engine bay felt suddenly too small. "I said," he began, "that if you keep learning human stuff like that, you would be a cute wife." The words sounded much more serious the second time. Lyria stepped closer. She did not blink. The faint glow under her skin pulsed in time with the soft hum of the engines. Alex wanted to step back, but he held his ground. "I see," she said. "You spoke a bonding proposal in jest." "A what?" Alex asked. "A bonding proposal," she said. "Among my people, that phrase is almost identical to our formal wording. We use it when we ask another person to share life duty, protection, resource, and mind." Alex's mouth went dry. "We were talking about hair." "Your intentions do not change the structure of the words," she said. "Your status as human does not change how my culture hears them." "But it is different for humans," Alex said quickly. "We joke about this stuff. We say things like that all the time when we are not serious." "You spoke it to me," Lyria said. "In private, with direct eye contact." "We are in an engine bay, not a—" He stopped when she lifted one hand. Her fingers trembled for just a second. He had never seen her hand shake before. She looked down, then up again. When she spoke, her voice was softer than he had ever heard it. "Alex," she whispered, "if I answer, it becomes binding for me. That is our rule." His heart hammered. "Then maybe do not answer. We can just forget it. I did not mean—" "You are important to me," she said, cutting him off. "You are illogical. You are often reckless. You talk instead of calculating. You tease instead of giving direct data. But you stay in danger to help others. You choose kindness when efficiency would say otherwise." Her words came in a rush, as if she had been holding them for a long time. "When I first met you," she went on, "I thought humans were unstable. Now I think you are strong in a different way, and you make my thoughts feel wider." Alex did not know what to say. His throat felt tight. "This is not efficient," she said. "It is not logical, but it is true." She stepped even closer. He could see the fine lines of light under her skin. He could feel the faint chill of her body and the slight warmth of her breath. She leaned in, so near that he could see his own reflection in her eyes. Her lips moved, and for a moment no sound came out. Then, in a soft, clear whisper, she said, "I accept." It felt like the air itself stopped. Alex stared at her. "You... what?" "I accept your proposal," she said, "as my people understand it. From this moment, I am bound to you in protection and partnership. I will inform Ambassador Tyron and Commander Grant. The Alliance will need to be notified. There will be many steps and records." "Wait," Alex said. "No. Hold on. I was just teasing. It was not a real proposal. Humans do not get married in engine bays with broken relays and hairbands on the floor." "You told me teasing is a form of truth wrapped in false shape," she said. "Perhaps this is so, but I have chosen to take the truth and make it real." He opened his mouth, then closed it again. His thoughts spun around like loose screws in zero gravity. Somewhere far away, the station's atmosphere system sighed. The lights in the bay flickered. A deep rumble passed through the floor, like distant thunder. An alarm beeped once, then again, louder. A red light began to flash near the door. Over the overhead speakers, the calm voice of the station computer spoke. "Attention! Unknown energy surge detected from external structure. All personnel, report to your assigned stations." Lyria turned her head toward the ceiling for a moment, then looked back at Alex. "There will be time to discuss our bond later," she said. "Our what?" he asked weakly. She reached out and took his hand. Her grip was cool and firm. "For now," she said, "we must protect the station. And I must protect you. This is my duty now." Before he could answer, she pulled him toward the door as the alarm continued to sound, and the ancient structure outside woke a little more. Alex and Lyria moved quickly through the corridors of Horizon Gate. The red warning lights painted everything in harsh shades of color. The hum of the station had changed, louder now, almost like the station itself was tense. Distant vibrations ran through the floor as the alien structure nearby pulsed with energy. "Where are we going?" Alex asked, keeping one hand on the wall as he followed Lyria. Her stride was steady, calm, as if nothing could shake her focus. "To report the bonding," she said, "and to check the surge's effect on the engineering core." Alex blinked. "Report the bonding? You mean the thing from yesterday, the cute wife joke?" "It is not a joke for me," she said. "For my people, it is formal. We must inform the liaison and the commander. Hiding it would be dishonorable." Alex ran his hand through his hair. He had thought joking about marriage would be funny. Now it seemed that joke had become complicated. Really complicated. They entered the briefing room. Captain Laura Grant sat at the head of the table, her face tense but steady. She looked human, serious, and clearly used to strange things on the station. Beside her was the Seraph liaison, Ambassador Tyron. He was tall, with skin that shimmered faintly and eyes that looked like liquid silver. The light around him seemed to react to his mood. Alex and Lyria stepped in. He tried to walk casually, but his mind raced. Every time he glanced at Lyria, he remembered her whisper. "I accept." The words replayed in his head. Captain Grant raised an eyebrow. "Alex, Lyria, I received the alert about the external energy surge. Is everything stable?" Lyria stepped forward. "The surge is ongoing, but our immediate systems are intact. However, we must report another matter, human-alien bonding. Alex inadvertently spoke a phrase considered a binding proposal in my culture. I accepted. I am now bound to him." Alex winced. Yeah, about that. I didn't mean anything. It was a joke." Tyron's eyes narrowed. He moved his head slightly, tilting it. "You speak of a joke, yet the words were repeated, and the bonding was accepted. In Seraph culture, this cannot be undone lightly. It carries obligations." Alex swallowed. He had no idea what obligations she had just taken on. "So, what does that mean exactly?" Lyria spoke calmly. "It means I am bound to protect him, to prioritize his safety, and to share partnership in decisions that affect both our lives. In emergencies, this bond may extend to shared life energy and neural alignment. It is serious." Alex's stomach flipped. He was a human, not used to life energy bonds. "Oh, okay. Great. That's, very serious." Captain Grant leaned back, her hands folded. "So you are telling me, Lyria, that you accepted a bonding, and it is now formal according to your culture?" "Yes," Lyria said. "We must inform all relevant parties. To do otherwise would be dishonorable." Alex rubbed his face. He had expected some teasing about the joke, maybe a light scolding. He had not expected a formal, culturally binding commitment. "I guess I should apologize or something?" Tyron shook his head slowly. "There is nothing to apologize for. You were unaware of the cultural weight. This is a misunderstanding by human standards. However, we must navigate this carefully to maintain diplomatic harmony." Captain Grant gave a small sigh. "Well, at least we know the human and Seraph sides are aligned now, but Alex, be aware, this is no longer just personal. Your actions now carry interspecies significance." Alex nodded weakly. "Got it. Super serious now. No more jokes." Lyria tilted her head. It is unclear if human jokes can ever be serious. Your species mixes humor and truth freely. This is confusing but noted. After the briefing, the two of them walked toward the engineering bay. The station still trembled slightly from the surge. Red emergency lights painted their path. So, Alex said carefully, does this bonding thing change anything right now? Or is it just paperwork and ceremonies? Lyria looked at him directly. It changes everything. It changes how I perceive you, how I will act to ensure your safety, and how I interpret partnership. It also changes our interactions with the station. Others will observe, and some may challenge us. Alex blinked. Challenge us? Because of a joke I made? Your joke became a serious proposal. To ignore it may cause offense or confusion. Our alliance has protocols for such matters. Alex groaned. Humans don't normally have that many rules for jokes, or accidental proposals, or life energy bonds. Lyria's lips curved slightly. This is not a joke. Your species is unpredictable. That unpredictability is interesting. It makes decisions complex, but also meaningful. He looked at her. She seemed calm, but her words carried weight. Meaningful, huh? Great. That makes me feel even more in trouble. They entered the engineering bay. Several human technicians were securing panels and checking displays. Sparks from minor damage still floated in the air. The hum of machines was slightly erratic from the earlier surge. What is the status? Alex asked, moving to the main console. We are stabilizing the core, one technician replied. Surge affected conduit arrays in sectors B and C. Nothing catastrophic, but readings are unusual. Lyria examined the displays. The surge emitted pulses that affected neural-sensitive species more strongly. My people felt minor disruptions in perception and motor function. Alex raised an eyebrow. So humans are lucky to have messy brains, huh? We just got headaches. Your messy brains are resilient, Lyria said. Sereth minds are precise. Unexpected pulses can cause serious imbalance. Alex glanced at her. She looked unaffected, calm, almost like a rock in a storm. He felt a mix of admiration and nervousness. Well, if the world ever ends, I want you on my team. I am bound to you, she said simply. It is my duty. Alex looked down, unsure if he should laugh or panic. Yeah, that's comforting. Thanks. They spent the next few hours checking systems, repairing minor damage, and assisting technicians. The bond between them remained unspoken, but present. Lyria moved closer when he handled high-voltage conduits. Her proximity was steady, confident, and protective. Alex felt strange. He was used to joking around, but now he felt the weight of responsibility pressing gently against his chest. Alex, Lyria said quietly, what is it about your species that makes them continue despite danger? You humans act irrationally, yet often survive. Alex scratched the back of his neck. I guess humans are stubborn. We care about people and we try anyway, even if it doesn't make sense. Your stubbornness is impressive, she said. It is part of why I accepted the bond. It shows courage, commitment, and unpredictability. All qualities valued by my people in a partner. Alex blinked. He never thought his messy human stubbornness would impress anyone, let alone an alien with glowing skin and piercing eyes. Well, that's good to know. I guess I will try to keep being stubborn then. She studied him for a moment, then nodded. You will need it. The surge is not over. We may face further challenges from the structure. Your species' flexibility and my people's precision may be tested together. Alex glanced at the alien structure through a viewport. The black metal and crystal rings shimmered faintly, sending pulses of energy into the space around it. He felt a strange mixture of fear and fascination. So, we're on duty, huh? Humans and Sereth. Together, Lucky us. Lyria's eyes glowed faintly. This is correct. Together we have higher chance of survival, and we can demonstrate partnership between our species to the station and the Alliance. Demonstrate partnership, Alex repeated. Sounds like a fancy way of saying we're stuck together now? Stuck is a weak word, Lyria said. Bound is more accurate. We are responsible for each other. Alex sighed, rubbing his temples. Responsible. Right. Thanks, partner. I feel safer already. Throughout the day, they continued repairs. The station's systems slowly regained normal readings, though occasional tremors reminded them that the alien structure was still active. The other humans whispered occasionally, glancing at Alex. Some smirked. He could feel the teasing eyes, but he could not explain why he was not allowed to joke this time. Lyria stood by him silently, her presence a quiet shield. That night, Alex and Lyria sat in the observation deck, looking out at the gas giant and the strange structure. The room was quiet except for the soft hum of the station. Stars stretched in all directions. The planet below was massive and red with swirls of orange clouds. Alex, Lyria said softly, what do humans do when they are afraid and must protect someone important? Alex looked at her. He was tired, but the thought made him alert. We try to stay calm, think fast, and do whatever we can to keep them safe. Sometimes we fail, sometimes we succeed. Mostly we just try. I understand, she said. This is why your species is useful, unpredictable, resilient, caring. Alex smiled faintly. Caring is what gets us into trouble too. Perhaps, she said. But it also allows connection, bonds, survival. He laughed quietly. Well, we definitely have a bond now. Not a joke bond either. She looked at him, her glowing eyes steady. No, this is not a joke. It is real, and it must be respected. Alex swallowed. The reality of her words settled deep in his chest. The joke he had made yesterday had grown roots. It had become something serious, something meaningful. And it was his responsibility, too. He had never imagined a teasing comment could lead to this. We should get rest, she said. The station may need us again soon. The structure is not done sending pulses. Alex nodded. Yeah, I guess the real work starts tomorrow. They sat side by side in silence, watching the planet turn slowly. He felt a strange warmth in his chest, fear mixed with awe. And in the quiet of the observation deck, he realized that despite the danger, despite the weight of the bond, he was not alone. And somehow, that made all the difference. The alien structure pulsed again in the distance, faint but undeniable. And together, Alex and Lyria waited, ready to face whatever came next. The station shuddered violently, shaking tools and loose panels across the engineering bay. Red emergency lights flashed, and the hum of Horizon Gate became a low, threatening roar. Alex grabbed a handhold, feeling the metal floor vibrate under his boots. The air smelled faintly of burnt circuits. Another surge, Lyria said calmly. Her voice steady even as sparks flew from a damaged console. Her hands moved quickly over a panel, sending a sequence of commands. Energy readings are increasing. Core stability is critical. Great, Alex muttered. Just another normal day. He rushed to a loose conduit, shoving it back into place. I did not sign up for fireworks, but apparently they come free with the station. Lyria glanced at him. This is serious, Alex. Your life is at risk if these conduits fail. He smiled weakly. So is yours. So, we're in this together. Correct. We are bonded, she said softly, but the words carried weight now. It was not a joke. It was real, and the bond between them meant they could rely on each other in ways that humans could not fully understand yet. Suddenly, an explosion rocked the bay. Debris fell from the ceiling, and Alex was pinned under a heavy metal beam. He groaned, struggling to breathe as dust filled the air. "Alex!" Lyria shouted. She dashed forward, her enhanced strength allowing her to lift the beam with one hand. Sparks flew around her as she adjusted her position and freed him. She winced but did not complain. "Are you injured?" Alex coughed, brushing dust from his face. "A little, but I'm okay." He tried to get up, but Lyria reached out and steadied him. "You stay down. I will move with you." Together, they limped toward the main console. Alex could feel the energy between them, not electricity, but the subtle connection of their bond. It was like a thread pulling him closer to her, urging cooperation. He had never felt anything like it. "The surge is coming from the structure outside," Lyria said. "It is scanning the station. It reacts to the presence of living beings. Its pulses affect neural systems." Alex frowned. "So it can read our minds or something?" "Not exactly read," she said, "but it can detect emotions and intentions. It judges species for patterns of cooperation, problem-solving, and resilience. The stronger the connection between individuals, the more favorable it perceives your species." Alex blinked. "So it's like testing us?" "Yes," she said, "and humans and Sereth are under observation together. Our bond is visible to it." Alex's stomach tightened. He never imagined that his accidental proposal could become a kind of test for both species. "Great. Just when I thought being a cute wife joke was the worst thing I did." Lyria ignored the humor, focusing on the console. "We must stabilize the energy flow before it overwhelms the station. If the surge continues, core collapse is possible." "Core collapse," Alex repeated. "Sounds fun." He scrambled to help her, rerouting power lines and monitoring readouts. He realized, more than ever, how much he relied on her. She moved with precision, her hands calm even as the lights flickered and alarms blared. They reached a chamber that controlled the station's external shields. Alex punched in commands, trying to compensate for the alien pulses. Lyria placed her hands on his shoulders. "Alex, focus. Trust your instincts and mine. Together, we can stabilize the systems." He nodded, heart pounding. He could feel the bond now, not just as an idea, but as a tangible energy connecting them. It gave him clarity and courage he had never felt before. "Okay. Together." They activated the shields and rerouted auxiliary power. The station groaned under the stress, but the energy readings began to stabilize. The structure outside pulsed again, more intense this time. A beam of light shot toward the station, causing the walls to rattle. "We need to distract it," Lyria said. "If it focuses on us, it may interpret our bond as a threat." Alex's mind raced. "Distract it how? We're not exactly armed with anything except screwdrivers and luck." "Your mind, your emotional patterns, and our bond," she said. "We can project them together. It may confuse the structure and convince it we are cooperative rather than dangerous." Alex swallowed. "So, what? We just show it we care about each other and hope it likes it?" "Essentially," she said. "But it is dangerous. Our neural systems may overload. You could experience extreme disorientation or unconsciousness. It is high risk." Alex stared at her. "We might die?" "Possibly," she said, "but it may save the station and many lives. Our bond gives us the best chance." He took a deep breath. Fear and adrenaline raced through him. He looked at her, remembering her words from the day before, her calm acceptance, her determination. He thought about the joke that had started it all and the seriousness that had grown from it. "Okay," he said finally. "If we're going to do this, we do it together. No turning back." Lyria nodded, a faint glow emanating from her skin. She extended her hands, palms facing his. As their fingertips touched, he felt a strange warmth spread through him. It was not just physical contact. It was deeper, connecting thoughts, emotions, and resolve. "Focus on me," she said. "Focus on the bond. Block fear. Block doubt." We project together. Alex closed his eyes. He felt her mind brush against his, not invasive, but guiding. He felt her curiosity, her precision, her loyalty. He shared his own thoughts, concern for the station, worry for the people, and an unfamiliar tenderness for her. The pulses from the structure intensified, trying to dissect their minds, but the bond between them held firm. It was messy, chaotic, but strong. Alex's human unpredictability mixed with Lyria's seraph discipline, forming a pattern the structure had not anticipated. The lights around them flickered violently, the hum of the station rising to a high pitch. Alex felt his mind strain, thoughts overlapping, memories and emotions colliding. He heard Lyria's voice in his head, steady, guiding him. Focus, together. He concentrated, pushing through the chaos, letting their bond flow outward. He felt the structure's perception probe their connection, analyzing, interpreting. It reacted not with aggression, but with hesitation, confused by the unusual pattern. "It is working," Lyria whispered. "Maintain the projection. Do not break the bond." Alex's hands trembled, but he gripped hers tighter. The glow between them intensified, extending outward through the room. The structure pulsed again, slower this time. Energy readings stabilized. Alarms began to quiet. "Almost done," Lyria said. Her eyes shone. "Focus. One last push." Alex dug deep, summoning courage he didn't know he had. He thought about human resilience, unpredictability, and love. He combined it with her clarity, discipline, and loyalty. Together, they created a mental signal strong enough to reach the structure. The room went white for a moment. A pulse of energy swept outward, and Alex felt himself lifted, weightless. The structure outside shimmered, light moving along its surfaces as if it were scanning, processing, understanding. When the light faded, the alarms stopped. The station shuddered once more, then settled. The hum of Horizon Gate returned to normal. The energy readings stabilized completely. The surges were gone. Alex collapsed to the floor, exhausted. Lyria caught him, supporting his weight. "You are safe," she said softly. "We succeeded." He gasped for breath, looking around at the still flickering lights. "We actually did it? I thought we were going to fry ourselves." Lyria smiled faintly. "We risked much, and we survived. Your species' chaos and my species' precision together created a pattern it could not ignore. It recognizes cooperation. It recognizes strength." Alex shook his head in disbelief. "So, our bond, the joke, all of it, it actually saved the station?" "Yes," she said, "and it demonstrated that humans and Seraph can act together. Our partnership is now visible, effective." He stared at her. The weight of everything hit him. The accidental joke, the whispered acceptance, the dangerous pulses, the shared bond. Somehow it had all come together. Somehow he had survived, and somehow it had worked. "I guess," he said slowly, "being a cute wife has its uses after all." Lyria looked at him, her glowing eyes steady. It was never about appearance. It was about commitment, courage, and cooperation. Your humor brought attention to the bond, but your actions proved its strength. Alex smiled weakly, still catching his breath. "Well, then I guess we make a good team. Humans and Seraph. Weird, chaotic humans and precise, glowing aliens. Who would have thought?" "It is effective," she said, "and it is meaningful." They stayed in the chamber a while longer, checking systems and making sure the station was stable. Other humans and Seraph came in, giving nods and quiet thanks. No one fully understood the bond, but they all felt the change. There was respect, awe, and perhaps a little fear. Later, in the observation deck, Alex and Lyria sat quietly, looking out at the gas giant and the dark, strange structure. It pulsed faintly, as if acknowledging their success, its energy calm now. "So," Alex said. Do you think it will try anything else? Possibly, Lyria said. But we have proven that cooperation and resilience can be recognized. We are stronger together than separately. Alex nodded, feeling the weight and the warmth of her words. Stronger together? Yeah, I can live with that. But next time, maybe we can avoid almost frying ourselves. Lyria's lips curved in the faintest smile. Next time it may not be possible. You must be prepared. Alex laughed softly, leaning back against the wall. Prepared. Got it. Bonded partner, glowing alien at my side. What could go wrong? She did not answer immediately. Her eyes glowed softly in the dim light. The bond between them pulsed faintly. Not just a connection of duty, but something deeper, something stronger than either had expected. And outside, the strange structure floated silently, a witness to a new kind of alliance, forged in chaos, courage, and a joke that was never really a joke.